welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we have a new pick a card reading all about the surprises that are coming to you in the year of 2025. So if you're curious what surprises are in store for you, if you want some good news about what you can look forward to in this next year, then this is the right video for you. We're gonna be calling on spirit and angels and guides of 100% pure white light to come through at this time to bring you information for your highest good, all about those good surprises that you can look forward to. If you are new to these types of videos, I read the tarot cards, the oracle cards to bring you information and so that you can gain some insight on what you can expect regarding the surprises of 2025 that you can expect. So the way that this video works is I have 4 different groups in front of me and you are going to intuitively choose one of these 4 groups that you are the most drawn to, that you are intuitively called towards, which I'm going to explain a little bit about what that is, how you can access your intuition. Occasionally, you might be called towards multiple groups, and that just means that there's multiple messages for you in today's video, and that's totally okay too. But most of the time, there's going to be one group that is going to stand out more than the rest. So over here we have group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the way that you intuitively choose a group is either visually, you might be magnetized towards one of them. Like maybe in the thumbnail, you noticed that one of them stood out more than the rest and you just felt like, ooh, I want to know what's underneath that group. That is your intuition speaking to you. So then you would go with that group, and then there's timestamps linked down below in the comment box and the description box so that you can easily skip right ahead to your personal prediction all about those surprises. If visually choosing a group is not working for you and you're having a hard time tapping into your intuition, another thing that I like to do is use my hand and I hold it above each of the groups and I just wait a little bit to see what I feel as my hand glides over that pile. And if I ever feel like a different sort of sensation with one of the groups, like maybe all of a sudden my hand feels magnetized towards it, or all of a sudden I feel a hot or cold sensation, or there's just sort of like a different feeling when you go over the pile, that is also your intuition. So you can pause the video, you can glide over with your hand to feel if there's any sort of different sensation that you get with one of the groups, because that's your intuition, and your intuition is so powerful. It is your 6th sense, and all of us have a 6th sense. So that is how you can tap into it. Those are the few different tricks that I like to use the most. And again, there's timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box so that you can navigate towards your prediction. If you would like to know a little bit about the crystals and get a close-up of them, some people like to choose based on the crystals, some people like to choose based on the combination that you see here, and then other people like to choose based on the cards. So if you want to see a close-up of the crystals, over here we have a titanium aura quartz for group number 1. So if you find yourself drawn to this crystal or group number 1, then that is going to be your pile. Titanium aura quartz is such a powerful crystal. It is made with combining titanium on top of quartz, and it just creates this beautiful sort of, it almost looks like gasoline to me, but it activates all the chakras, which is really nice. So any sort of rainbow crystal activates through all the chakras. Since it is a darker color, it really grounds you, so it's more of a grounding crystal. So that is on group number 1. Group number 2, we have this gorgeous rose quartz sphere, which I love rose quartz. It is the crystal of love, of romance. It is the crystal that helps you also with self-love and self-worth. I love this crystal. If you want to attract more romance in your life, having rose quartz around is the crystal for that. So that is associated with group number 2. If you find yourself drawn to that crystal or this pile, that's going to be for you. Then over on group 3, we have this beautiful piece of Thulite. Thulite is also great for attracting love and romance, but the redness in it is also very grounding, so it helps you find more of your passions. It helps you connect deeper to vitality and your inner power, while also creating more zest and creativity and romance. So that is associated with group number 3. So if you find yourself drawn to that crystal or this pile, that is going to be your group. And then on our last group, we have this beautiful angel aura quartz, which I would say is probably, it's hard to pick a favorite crystal, but I would say this one is like pretty much my top favorite crystal. It is combined with a bunch of different precious metals, which creates this aura effect and this rainbow effect on the crystal. So there's a bunch of precious metals on top of quartz. Quartz is amazing for manifesting, which is also why it's one of my favorite crystals. And then with the precious metals, it just creates so much more of an ethereal energy, and really helps activate all the chakras, because any sort of rainbow crystal helps activate every single chakra. And it also helps connect you to your angels and spirit and all of that and spiritual journeys. So yeah, those are our crystals. Those are the different group options for today's video. You can pause the video, take as much time as you need to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. And then again, there's timestamps linked down below, and I'll see you in your reading. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, my group number 1s, if you want to find out about the surprises that you can expect coming in 2025, then let's go ahead and see what's in store for you. All right, so let's start off with our Astro Dice, and let's see those 2025 surprises that are coming for you. We have the South Node in Leo in the first house. Okay, so the first house deals with the self, your self-image. Ooh, and Leo, oh, okay, first off, there's gonna be like a whole self upgrade in 2025. You are upgrading yourself massively. Leo is the zodiac sign that is confident and exudes confidence. Leo's also in the spotlight. If you've had any experiences in the past, because South Node brings us back to our past a little bit. So if you've had any experiences in the past where you felt like your confidence was challenged or diminished or hurt in some way, or if you were told that you're never gonna be enough or anything like that, you are overcoming that in 2025 and really healing that and transforming that. And it's going to liberate you and help you kind of, step outside of your comfort zone this year. But also, it's not going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be one of these sort of like I'm just ready to shine, that kind of energy. I'm ready to shine. I am ready to be confident. I'm ready to step into my greatness. Like that type of energy. Ooh, you are about to have like a major up level, glow up internally and also externally, because Leo as well is also a very external sign. Leo has the biggest heart. So I really feel like your heart is going to be very amplified and your self-love is going to be very amplified, which is going to be what brings you so much more confidence. But Leo also puts a lot of effort into themselves and their appearance. And so when we have Leo being in the first house here, I'm really getting this feeling like you are going to be really upgrading yourself internally, but then also externally. So you could be doing things like Leo is really associated with the hair. So if you want to grow your hair really long and lush and beautiful, that is associated with this Leo energy. Or if you're really wanting to change something up about your look or your hair or your style or something about you, if you're really wanting to work on your self-image and loving your body and doing things that are amazing for your body, like treating it more like a temple and with love and care, it's like you're really reaching those goals. If you had goals this last year, by the way, because South Node is almost bringing me to this feeling of talking about 2024 for you. If you had goals where you were like, oh, I really want to get the body of my dreams. I really want to do something for myself to reach these specific goals. I want more confidence. If you had these goals in this last year, but maybe they weren't quite accomplished, maybe to the extent that you wanted them, or maybe you fell off track with them, this is your year where you are absolutely just like getting to the goal. You are making it happen. And in fact, I really actually get this energy like you are going to surprise yourself with how far you come in 2025, because I feel like like even midway through the year, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm like so different than who I was at the beginning of the year. And then by the end of 2025, it's like you're even more different even then. I really feel like this is going to be one of the biggest self-transformative years that you've ever had. And I really think by the end of the year, like people are going to be like, who are you? But in the best way possible. I mean that in the best way possible. Because your energy and who you are, like I just see you being like even just a more loving person, not only to yourself, but towards other people. I see you being so much more loving in that way as well. And I see people like they want to be around you. You're almost like that number one person where people are like, I really want to be around you. You might even notice people from your past popping back up and they want to know more about you because all of a sudden you're doing these things that are so out of what people expected from you, so different from what people expected of you, that like people from the past are going to be coming back in and being like, whoa, like how did you do that? How did you do that transformation? How did you accomplish this? How did you accomplish that? There's spotlight energy. If there's anything that you've been working on which requires you to be in the spotlight, it's going to happen this year. It is going to happen this year. This is you stepping up into your greatness. This is you really believing in yourself. This is the year where you're going to believe in yourself more than any other year. The things that you are doing, the things that you are focusing on, it is powerful, my group number ones. And it's interesting because we have all this one energy here and you're also group number one. Okay, there's a lot of one energy for you. So definitely spotlight energy. This is definitely a self-focused year where you are stepping up into so much more greatness, my group ones. Oh my goodness, if you could just feel the energy that I feel from that spirit is giving me right now, it is next level amazing. And I'm like so excited for you. Like, can we be best friends? Because your energy is like, wow, this year is like a very magnetic year for you. So the next two cards that we have the Magic Maker. Ooh, and we have two angel numbers here. We have angel number 33 and then angel number 11. This is powerful. So we have Magic Maker, which is captivate, touch, tantalize, sense. And then Spirit, which is renew, detox, purify, and cleanse. Okay, so let's start off with this one because I have some messages. I feel like this one needs to come first. So if there is things like habits that you used to have or patterns that you would fall into, things like that brought you down, detox, purify, cleanse, those are going to be gone. Those negative habits, the things from your past that used to hold you back too, even people from your past, you're going to be separating from people who have been holding you back. And this is also going to allow you to step into more of your confidence because I feel like there's almost been people in your life or patterns, habits, addictions even, that have really been weighing on your energy and holding you back. And you have felt that you need to get rid of it. This is your year. Your spirit has been calling you in this direction. You've also felt like your spirit guides have been calling you in this direction. This is going to be a whole renewal year for you. We also have the Magic Maker. So I want to say also angel number 11, this is like a mastery year for you, mastering old things that were keeping you stuck. And it's also a manifestation year for you because ones are associated with manifesting and also a brand new beginning. Angel number 33 is getting connected to the right people. It's also taking action on a plan and bringing in new people in your life that are going to really amplify your life. But yeah, Magic Maker, this is your year of making magic. It's almost like you draw in circumstances that are going to propel you forward, okay? So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a powerful year for you, to say the least, in terms of the amazing surprises that are on their way. It's really like a you-focused year and getting your dreams moving forward, especially if you felt delayed and stuck with your dreams and your manifestations. This year, you are going to be called to all the right synchronicities, all the right information to really make so much progress on your dreams that you used to feel delayed in, and you used to feel like, how's that ever going to happen? This is the year of like breakthroughs and transformations on such a deep level. So let's go ahead and shuffle these cards to get some more information for you on your year of 2025, the good surprises that are coming your way. What else can you expect here? So we also have the Six of Pentacles being reversed. So when this card shows up in terms of talking about surprises that are coming your way, things that were uneven in your life or unequal, where it felt like either you had to overgive without getting back. So this could be in terms of money, for example, and in terms of work. If you felt like you had to overwork and you would get little to no return on all of that work, this is also going to come as a surprise this year, because this is the year where I feel like you are going to transform that dynamic, because you're getting to this place of confidence where you're really knowing your worth. Therefore, you are no longer going to be putting your time and energy into things that are not lucrative for you. And also relationships that were uneven, where it felt like, oh, if I'm getting this message that if you have people in your life, or like maybe this could even just be one person, maybe multiple people, where it kind of seems like you're always there for them, but they're never really there for you. And it kind of seems like there's an imbalance there. I also see you getting the confidence to separate from these people, because I think that there's been this realization of like, what am I really getting out of this? This seems unfair. It also, in areas where you are owed money, or areas where, again, there's been imbalances, these are all going to rebalance this year. And it's all because of your confidence to end patterns where you were on that imbalanced side of things. So that is coming through. That's going to be another surprise in 2025. We also have the Tower being reversed. Okay, so things also that felt like they broke down this last year, or unexpected kind of changes that happened in this last year, even things where it just felt like you couldn't move forward. This is the year of breakthroughs. The Tower being reversed is my favorite position for this card to be in. And when we're talking about surprises, you are going to be surprised in the best possible ways this year, because the Tower is such a big energy. And when it's in the reverse position, we're in the rebuilding phase, but we're so much wiser this time that the things that we are building, we're building them right. We're building them properly to where they are stable. They are actually going to get us where we want to go. Because you see here, it's like building this tower, and it's almost like we can't get to the goal. And I almost see this as, in the previous years of your life, it almost seems like you've been trying to reach a goal, but then something will happen that completely deters you or stops the goal from happening, or all of a sudden there's all these different things. This could come up as excuses, or this could show up as like, oh, well, this happened that's outside of my control, therefore I couldn't do it, you know? Like if you had a goal to, I'm just throwing examples out there. Let's say you're a business owner, and let's say you're like, oh, I'm going to make my first 100K year. But then let's say like you're on track for that, but then all of a sudden these crazy things happen, and then you couldn't get the work done that you needed to. There was all these delays. Like that's like this Tower moment right here, where it's all of a sudden these things that are outside of your control just keep deterring your goal. However, this year, this card is reversed. So this means that you have integrated the lessons that were needed over the past few years, even if you don't even realize what those lessons were, that's fine. Either way, you have learned what you've needed to. And this year is your building year, where no longer are you getting this deterring energy. No longer are you getting this like delay, this stop, this I almost want to say the word destruction or corruption in your life when it comes to your goals. All of a sudden, the tower being reversed is when you're building the tower correctly. Therefore, no matter what happens, it's not getting deterred. It is not getting stopped. And we were talking about that over here with our South Node and everything that I was kind of feeling with this, where it almost seems like in the past, you were unable to achieve certain goals and it just like things just kept popping up that kept stopping you from it. Yeah, this year is like completely different. It is completely different. You have a completely different energy. Those goals are not being stopped. You are building this properly. You have learned and integrated what you needed to. And throughout this year, you're going to be making great progress. And that progress is not going to be halted or stopped. Okay? So we also have Eight of Wands. I love that this one came up for you. So the Eight of Wands is when energy is really moving forward, which is exactly what we have been talking about here. So for one, I feel like opportunities are going to be flowing into your life. You are moving forward and you're moving forward faster than ever for the past, like, I'm kind of feeling like Spirit is almost saying entire decade. And now it's like energy is really moving forward. Also, the Eight of Wands is when a lot of people want to get in touch with us, or we're getting a lot of like incoming messages, incoming opportunities, and people want to be around us more. It can indicate that. It can also indicate that whenever you are needing or wanting an opportunity to move forward, it's like it's right there. Eight of Wands can also indicate travel. So if you wanted to travel or expand yourself, Eight of Wands is that. In fact, when I'm looking at this card, I'm really seeing you on an airplane. And I almost see like multiple trips of you like being, this could be on an airplane, this could be like even just road trips or something like this. But oddly, I'm seeing airplane for a lot of you and a lot of travel with that, where it's like, ooh, I have this travel opportunity, or oh, I'm traveling again, or oh, I'm traveling again. People are like, really? You're traveling that much this year? It's definitely going to be more than what is normal for you. And I'm also hearing the word freedom in this card as well. Then we also have Ace of Cups being reversed. So when this one comes up reversed, if you have felt in the previous years like a lack of fulfillment, or if you have felt drained of energy, drained of creativity, this is also going to be switching this year as well. I'm almost seeing you're going to be gaining inspiration. Inspiration is going to come through. Another thing that I'm seeing as a surprise here is letting go of things that were draining your energy and welcoming in new things that are going to fill your cup. If you've been struggling in romance, there's specifically a message here for those of you that have been struggling in romance or your love life. There's going to be massive healing this year. Healing. If you have been deterred from romance in any way, where there's been like hesitation when it comes to romance, or just quote unquote bad luck in romance, or maybe it's just seemed dull or not quite where you want it to be, 2025 is going to be shifting that and healing that. I'm specifically hearing the word healing. Healing from the past, healing from a past relationship, to the point where you feel really whole and complete. Really whole and complete. And for those of you that are seeking a new love opportunity, I'm actually seeing an amazing, amazing potential for that. But it comes after you heal. So that's the message. This card is being reversed because there's healing that has to take place here. And that's actually one of your blessings that's coming in 2025, is this healing around previous love situations. And through that healing, there's going to be something new coming in if you so desire to call that in. Okay? So that is coming through there. Let's dive into some more cards. I really have been so into doing the archetype cards lately. I feel like they've been so powerful in their messages. So we're going to go ahead and get an archetype card for you, which is going to resemble like who you've been versus who you are becoming this year. So in terms of surprises, who you've been and who you're becoming. Let's see what we get for you. Okay. Oh, we have the artist coming up for you. So the artist archetype, this is so fun. Some of you might actually be artists, and perhaps this is why this is coming up for you, or maybe there's some sort of creative work that you're going to be doing. But the archetypes, the light attributes of the artist is expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses. Ooh, you might be getting some intuitive like, okay, inspiring others to see life symbolically. The shadow attributes of the artist is using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. Okay, a couple different things that I'm seeing here. So in terms of your old self, I'm almost seeing that you used to have imposter syndrome, perhaps, for some of you, where you never felt good enough with your skills. Perhaps you also thought like, oh, I'll never be able to do what I really want and be able to make a full living off of that. So like the starving artist, where we thought like, oh, we can't actually make money doing what we love. Or again, imposter syndrome, where you don't feel good enough and you constantly question yourself. This could also be like, for very few of you, I feel like this is the more rare aspect of the opposite archetype, is when the ego is too big and we think like, oh, I'm like the greatest at this, and you know those people where they think that their talent is so great that they're like not willing to learn, and then they're a little bit naive in getting the right opportunities. So that might be something for very few of you, although for the most part, I'm feeling like most of you actually have this like self-doubt. And that self-doubt used to hold you back, whereas this year, you're actually stepping more into that confidence that we were talking about when it comes to what you do, when it comes to your talents and your skills. You're going to be stepping into that confidence side. And I'm not talking about the egotistical confidence. I'm talking about that really great balanced confidence where you're like, you know what? I believe in myself and I love myself and I love what I do and I'm passionate about it. And I'm here to learn, I'm here to grow, I'm here to improve, and I'm here to do my best. And I'm like that kind of energy, expressing a dimension of life that's just beyond the five senses. Like if you have an artistic skill, or if you have like a passion, I really feel like that's going to come out and become alive this year. If you don't currently have a passion, you're like, what is this card even coming up for? I really think you're going to gain a hobby that is going to light you up this year. And it's like an artistic, creative hobby, and it is going to make you passionate. It is going to light you up, okay? Inspiring others to see life symbolically. So I really think that your artistic skills have the capacity to really inspire other people this year, which is going to be really beautiful. You might get a lot of people like complimenting you or all of that. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you here. Ooh, we have the egg, fate. Okay, so this is very fated. You are on a very, I almost don't like using the word fate because we also all have free will, but there are things that our soul meant to experience this lifetime. And your soul meant to experience stepping into your confidence. Your soul meant to come here to experience being the magic maker and becoming that master manifester of your life. If you've been called to learn about manifestation this year, or if that's been something that you've been interested in, for a little bit now, I really think that you are going to be getting to a level where it's really like your skills in it and your wisdom of it help you accumulate exactly what you need to. And then you're going to see why certain things haven't worked out in the past and why and how you can make them work now. And you're stepping into so much more of your greatness. And the egg talks about a new beginning. So this is like a very your soul came here for this new beginning. Your soul was not meant to have this unequal give and take. Your soul was not meant to overwork for very little reciprocation. Your soul was not meant to have all of these delays, destruction. Of course, we're meant to learn lessons this lifetime, but you're not meant to stay there. And that's the point that I really want to make, because maybe it has felt like life was against you in the past, or maybe it felt like things were hard in the past, things like that. You're not meant to stay there forever. You're also meant to make progress. You are also meant to heal and have amazing miracles and things happen for you. You are also meant to experience the things that call to you. Okay, so if you wanted to manifest living a more free lifestyle where it's like, oh, I'm traveling and oh, like I'm feeling fulfilled and I'm feeling good and I'm feeling like things are going my way and I feel like I've accomplished like this big success that I wanted to accomplish. I feel like I've accomplished something in work. Like whatever your soul calls you towards, you're also meant to experience that. Okay? Yes, our soul came here for growth, which is why we go through lessons. It's why we go through all those things. And that's what makes the journey so fun. But you're also meant to actually experience the progress and achievements and things like that. And Spirit just really wants to remind you of that. Okay, so nature is also coming up. Perhaps you're going to spend more time in nature, traveling, being outside. That's just like the obvious sides of that card. But also when we talk about nature, it's coming back to your natural self. Your natural self is one that knows how to work with the environment that you are in. Your natural self grows. When you think about nature, like the rain can come and pour, but then nature uses that rain to grow, right? That's what's watering the seeds. You've been in that watering seed time, and I really feel like your seed right here is now meant to bloom and blossom, right? The egg cracking open, it's like the seed cracking open, and now it's the growth period. I really feel like this next year is a growth period for you, which is so exciting. Okay, let's dive into our next cards here, and let's see what else we get for you. My beautiful group ones. Group ones. Okay, so we have Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. So I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. Wow, this is a year for you of releasing suffering. If you have found yourself previously in this like victim mentality where it kind of felt like, again, life was against you, this is your year of releasing that, because this year you're really taking your power back. You're really calling your power into your own hands, which is going to be amazing. And let's see, what else do we have for your surprises? Breathe. So things are going to become a lot easier for you. I'm almost seeing, if you're called to meditate at all, I feel like that's going to be something that's so beneficial for you. Then we have Yang, which is the masculine, which is all about taking action and accomplishing, doing, calling your power back. Yang is the power, like it's related to Mars. It's the masculine. It's all about the power and the action and the doing and the accomplishing and the success. And then we also have this breathe energy, which is this balance of like getting the fresh air and gaining clarity in your life. Taking time to relax and rejuvenate is going to be another blessing coming in. So let's see. What last messages do we have for my group ones? Okay, there we go. We have our 3 oracle cards here. Let's see what we have. So the first one that came out, I absolutely love that this came out for you. This one just makes so much sense for you. So when you feel like you don't fit in, make space. When you feel like you don't fit in, make space. You like are meant to be here. Okay? When you feel like you don't fit in because, you know, because of other people or like whatever, make space for yourself. You get to choose to make space for yourself, right? You have a right to be where you want to be and to do what you want to do. You have an absolute right to that. So remember that. Then our next 2 cards, we have don't let life be a collection of missed opportunities. Let's go and let's make things happen. And then your last card is see it through to completion. This is your year of seeing it through to completion. All those things that were not completed before in the last year, all those things that didn't quite make it to the finish line or didn't quite manifest or happen for you, this is your year of making it happen. This is literally your year. Everything that's coming up in the cards in your reading is all about it's manifesting this year. It's happening this year. This is your year of making it happen. So see it through to completion. Don't give up on it. Continue going, because you are meant to crack open and grow this year. Your seed, your intention that you've been planting, the vision that you have for yourself is meant to blossom this year. So continue on, my love, because this is going to be such a big, amazing year for you. Those are the surprises coming in. I'm so excited for you. I'm sending you all so much love. Also, here's another number 1 popping up for you. What a beautiful coincidence. And yeah, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, my group 2s, if you're curious about the surprises that you can expect in 2025, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so as always, we'll begin with our Astro Dice. And let's see. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. Our last group number 1, also had house number 1 pop up for them, but yours is Pluto in Capricorn in the first house. So the first house deals with the self, and it is all about your self-image, your identity, your external appearance even, all of that. And Pluto is the planet of transformation. Being in Capricorn, this is like a transformation where we are just like dedicated to something, and we have certain goals that we might have in this area of our life. So if you feel like you really want to do a major self-transformation this year, then here we go. This is your year. This is going to happen. Pluto is the planet of transformation, and it's also the planet of releasing anything that no longer serves you, and also digging up old blah that has been holding you back, that has been diminishing your self-worth or your self-esteem. Like when we talk about the concept of shadow work, if you've ever heard of shadow work before, that is associated with Pluto. What shadow work is looking at all the aspects of yourself that were unconscious and that were holding you back and keeping you stuck. Because we actually all have an unconscious self. In fact, most of our self is unconscious, and most of our thoughts, most of our beliefs about ourselves and our life and our reality are mostly unconscious, and we don't even see them. We might have a belief that says, I'm not worthy of what I want. Or we might have a belief that says, oh, this is all I'll ever be. But is that actually true? No. Oh my gosh, you are so unlimited. And what Pluto does is it eradicates by first showing us what we need to see, but then it also helps us remove those things that were blocking us. A lot of people think Pluto is like a negative planet, but in fact it is not. It's actually one of my favorite planets in all of astrology, because it is the planet of metamorphosis and the planet of transformation. So it's literally like if you were a caterpillar always dreaming about flying, Pluto is the planet that talks about the caterpillar all of a sudden going into a cocoon and then blossoming into a butterfly. So one thing that I'm actually called to talk about here in your reading is, if you have felt in a cocoon lately, where you have felt like you have been pushed into more of a shell than normal, this is going to be an amazing surprise. An amazing surprise is coming on the other side of that. And it's you becoming the butterfly. Because the caterpillar first has to go into the cocoon stage to become a butterfly. So if you have felt almost like in the past year or so, or even right now, if you feel like all of a sudden you feel more in your shell than ever, maybe you're going through a time of feeling more insecure than ever, maybe you're going through a time of feeling more blocked than ever, this is because you're in your cocoon. You're literally growing your wings right now. And in this next year, your surprise is the fact that you're going to have wings, and you're going to be like, oh, wait a second. You're literally going to hatch. You're literally going to blossom. You're like in the egg phase where the chicken is all of a sudden about to hatch and become a chicken, and it's like, oh my God. So or become a butterfly or whatever metaphor you want to use, but you are blossoming, you're breaking open. It's like you were in that seed stage and now you're breaking open. So Capricorn as well is associated with the goat who climbs the mountain and gets to the top. So whatever you've been struggling with in your life is going to be transformed, because you are actually going to be seeing yourself so much differently. It's almost like you're going through a transformation where all of a sudden self-belief is going to be a massive thing for you. Things that were holding you back, things that were stopping you, blocking you, unconscious things that were in the way are now being shed. They're being let go of, and you are going to be coming out completely different. So what's kind of interesting here is group number 1 also had the first house pop up, which ended up giving them a similar message, but not quite similar because the planets were different and things like that. But for you, I almost wonder if you were also attracted to group number 1, because I feel like some of you might have, since we're starting off with a very similar energy here about self-transformation. So that I just find that interesting. And I'm curious if some of you were also drawn to group number 1. Either way, they're going to be different readings. They already are different readings, but yeah, there's a similar crossover there. The next card that we have for you for about your surprises is align. I connect and align with my higher consciousness. So, some of you guys who chose this pile, you're going through a massive spiritual awakening this year. You might have already had spiritual awakenings in the past. Sometimes we have multiple of them throughout our lives, but there's going to be a massive spiritual awakening. And the breaking down of the old version of you and the things that literally held you back in life. You're going to be bringing those things to your conscious mind in order to shed them so that you're no longer stuck in this cocoon. You're going to be breaking out of the cocoon. You're going to be breaking out of all that old shell that was holding you back, things that you felt stuck in. But it all comes from that inner work that you're going to be doing, that spiritual awakening that you're going to have, which is going to literally set you free. You're going to be growing your wings. We also have Goddess of Balance, Equality. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. Ooh. Okay, so relationships are a big theme coming up, and it's interesting that you also chose the Rose Quartz, which kind of touches on relationships as well. So I'm curious if some of you have attracted people in your life that either always take advantage of you or disappoint you or hurt you in some way, or don't treat you the way that you should be treated. And something that's really coming up here is you, because of the work that you're doing, because of the self-transformation that you are going to have, the people in your life are going to shift. And you're also going to notice that you attract people that treat you very differently. You're going to start attracting people that treat you the way that you want to be treated, and that also treat you the way that you treat other people. It's like your standards are really shifting about what you expect, or like your standards of what you allow in your life are shifting. Maybe you used to allow people to treat you negatively. That's no longer going to be a thing for you in the future, because I think that you're no longer allowing that. Your boundaries are shifting. Your values are shifting. Why did I also look at this and see Goddess of Abundance? Your self-worth is increasing, and the way that you see of what you deserve, that's going to be increasing, which is going to help align you more to what you desire. Okay, let's see what else we get here. My group 2s. It's also interesting that this is group 2 because the 2 represents connection, especially regarding other people. So if you've been wanting to manifest, let's say you're single and you really wanted to manifest a relationship, but you wanted to manifest like the right relationship. This is a really positive outlook for you this year, especially with creating reciprocal relationships here and balance. This is going to be a great year. The fact that I put rose quartz on this pile, okay? Like, if you're trying to attract love into your life, and if you're trying to attract somebody who's going to be equal to you, somebody that, you know, is actually going to treat you beautifully and be so different than anything you've experienced in the past. It's written in the cards here. Okay, if you're already in a relationship, but maybe you're wanting to create more balance in that relationship, more equal give and take, more equal understanding, that's also going to be happening this year. Or this could also be a reflection in friendships or work relationships, okay? So this could also be reflecting in those areas, but for those of you that do want to manifest love, I'm absolutely seeing that for you. I'm just going to throw that right out there. But also, there's another layer of this that could be talking about friendships or work relationships where things have been imbalanced and maybe you never stood up for yourself in the past. Maybe you had a hard time speaking what's really on your mind or speaking about what you really need. In these cases, I really see a big self-transformation with this as well, where you're going to start loving yourself and valuing yourself enough that you are going to speak up about what it is that you think, want, and need. You know, and you can do so in a compassionate way. Rose quartz is all about compassion. Rose quartz is all about the softness. But it's not softness where it's like indirect. It's not sugarcoating things. That's not a rose quartz softness. Rose quartz softness is just nurturing and understanding, but it is also powerful and direct and clear about what it is speaking. So if you need to speak to somebody about something important, we don't sugarcoat it. We don't beat around the bush because we're scared of confrontation. We're scared about hurting their feelings. We're scared about their reaction. We're scared about et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No. Rose quartz is the energy. It's like we can approach a situation with a nurturing energy, but we also have that total confidence and total love and respect for ourselves that we're going to be clear about what it is that we want, need, or think, or need to get off of our chest. We're going to be totally clear about it, but we do so in like an understanding, compassionate way, okay? So we also have 10 of Swords. When this one comes out and we're talking about blessings that are coming your way, there are things that have really either been bothering you about the past, things that you've been hurt by in the past. And the 10s always symbolize the ending of a cycle. Always. They're always the ending of a cycle. They're the last numbered card in each of the tarot suits. And that always symbolizes the end of a phase or the end of a cycle. If you have been struggling with anything health-wise as well, this card also brings up health situations, and the fact that we have Pluto in the first house over here, that's going to be transformed this year. You're going to be getting the answers you need in order to improve any sort of health things that you've been going through. Pluto also helps us remove things that have been hurting us. So this could also be on a mental or emotional level. So mentally or emotionally, if you've been struggling with anything, if you've experienced some painful situations, this is also going to be something that you are healing this year. It's going to be something that is ending this year, where you no longer are going to be dealing with that. So the endings to those situations are going to be coming up for you. We also have the 6 of Cups. So things from your past as well are going to be healing too. If you've needed closure for something, if you've needed to end something from your past, that will be happening. And I do also see for some reason I'm getting this message in family situations or with siblings, if you've needed to heal those relationships, there's going to be opportunities for healing and forgiveness within familial relationships, also with siblings. Also, if there's anything in the past that maybe you regret or something in the past that maybe has been holding you back, I'm also seeing an opportunity where that's going to be released and healed. And you're coming back to like a fun, lighthearted energy, because the 6 of Cups is also very related to like this fun, lighthearted, like childhood innocence type of energy. So I also see you getting back to a lighthearted, like things are good, things are beautiful kind of energy. We also have the 8 of Swords being reversed. Oh, I love that this card came up for you, and I love that it is in the reverse position because it's the best position for this card. Either way, like I actually love the cards in any of their positions because they give so much wisdom and insight and but anyway, that's just my passion for tarot coming through. The 8 of Swords being reversed is when the cage that we were stuck in falls away. So see how upright she's like stuck in this cage, she's blindfolded. It just seems like she's stuck in her situations, or she's even stuck by her thoughts and her mind, and she feels trapped almost. And she feels stuck, like the things that she desires just don't seem to be happening, or she doesn't even know how to make them happen. She doesn't know how to move forward because she doesn't see a way, right? She doesn't perceive of a way. And there's all these mental things that are blocking her, like, oh, I can't because of this, or this is keeping me stuck, or that, this, that, oh. It's just such a stuck energy. If you have felt that, that is falling away very quickly this year. 2025, you are no longer going to be struggling with that. That is completely melting away. And also, you're going to be gaining insight about how to move forward in this situation, and gaining insight on exactly what you need to do. It's like you're no longer feeling stuck or held back, which is going to be so freaking amazing. We also have the Three of Swords coming through. I almost wonder, I have a question for some of you, because there's a lot of cards coming up that kind of indicate that you have either just gone through a painful situation, or you are just right now dealing with a painful situation. This is actually going to be one of your blessings this year. And I know that can sound really weird and strange, but whatever painful situation that you kind of are dealing with right now or navigating at the moment is actually going to end up being one of the best things that's ever happened to you. And this year you're going to be able to look back and see, like, holy crap, I am so glad that that ended. I am so glad that that fell out of my life. I'm so glad that that happened. Or at least it's going to liberate you in the future. So for example, if this is like a breakup that you're going through, this is going to be one of the biggest blessings that's ever happened to you. Or if you're experiencing some other kind of loss, there's a blessing on the other side of it that you cannot see right now, but there is a blessing on the other side of it. For example, like if somebody passes away in our life, of course, like maybe we're not going to look at that and think like, oh, that's the best thing that's ever happened. No, we might not be thinking about it that way, but on the other side of it, like it is going to allow you some sort of freedom or some sort of other, like maybe we're being guided by, you know, in the spirit realm and being connected in that way. And that's going to be a huge, big blessing. But there is, on the other side of what it is that you're going through right now, this is actually going to turn out to be such a positive gift. And I know that can sound weird sometimes. I know that can sound so weird, but Spirit is really coming through saying that there's a positive gift on the other side of that. And so through your healing, you will eventually see how that plays out. And it's going to play out in a very beautiful way of you transforming, you being able to step into your authenticity, because it's almost like you weren't able to step up into your authenticity beforehand. You weren't able to fully be yourself or fully move forward on what it is that you wanted to because you were stuck. And it might not even make sense right now, me saying that. It might not even make sense yet. But I promise you it will make sense as you go into this next year. And one of your biggest blessings is going to be the healing of this situation. And then right when you're on the other side of it, you're going to be attracting complete blessings in your life, especially in terms of relationships are going to be so different for you. The relationships you attract in your life are going to be so different. You're going to be able to align to things that are actually bringing you happiness. This is laughter. Like the Six of Cups is this laughter energy of like giggling, of becoming back to this like ease. When we think about kids and how they have fun and how they enjoy life, you're going to come back to that energy of like, oh, I'm really enjoying life. I feel like a kid again. This is so much fun. It's like the giggly, fun kind of energy. That is going to be a huge blessing coming into your life here. So diving into our next set of cards here. Let's see what we get. We also have the Seeker. So, oh, you're stepping into the receiving energy. Look at the hands being held out. You're stepping into the receiving energy, where it's time for you to receive. And what I mean by that is, like, if you are constantly somebody who gives, another switch of dynamics and surprise this year is you are going to be in the receiving energy, where it seems like people are really giving to you. And we also have the revolutionary. This is when we create massive shifts and change. We have a revolution in our life. And it's like you're leading that revolution. It's like you're the leader of your life. You're stepping up into that leadership position. Okay, we're also going to take our archetype cards. I've been loving using these lately because they sort of show the archetype of like who you've been versus who you're becoming this year. And I'm really excited to see what comes up for you. Ooh, mother. Okay, quick random message for any of you who have had mother issues that you need to heal, or that you've been held back by or wounded by in the past. This is also a year of healing that, okay? Another random blessing, this is literally only for like less than 20% of you watching this reading, okay? So take this if this resonates and if this makes sense, but some of you actually might have the blessing of becoming a parent this year, okay? Having a baby. So, and again, that's not a message for all of you, that is literally for not many of you. But if that's in alignment with you, if that's been something that's been on your mind that you've been wanting to create, or if you've just felt like that's like next in your life, that's coming this year, okay? So that is just other messages that wanted to come up there. However, this is also talking about your archetype and how you are going to be shifting this year. So the shadow attributes of the mother archetype is smothering or abandoning children or relationships, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. If you have dealt with a mother archetype like this, where you've either felt abandoned or if you felt too controlled and smothered, or if you have felt like within your mother archetype that you were constantly being guilted for doing what you want, or it felt like your parents were against you in some way or held you back, or any of those sort of attributes, this is also something that you're going to be confronting and healing this year. If you have also been in this scenario where within your relationships, either we run away from relationships, we abandon relationships too easily, or we either get too smothering and too needy in relationships, all of these sort of shadow attributes, or if we end up being too controlling, this is also an archetype that you are healing and stepping out of this year. Okay, we're going into the light attributes this year, which is nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. You are becoming the nurture archetype. And it's interesting we have children here too. So, I'm just saying, for some of you, becoming a parent might literally be in the cards for you this year, or healing anything around parenthood to where there's more balance, more ease, more self-confidence, all of that, more prosperous, healthy relationships. Ooh, healthy, prosperous relationships are the biggest theme for you in 2025. Healthy, prosperous relationships. There's massive energy of that. Like, that is the biggest theme for you. But yeah, so you are stepping into your more nurturing side, more understanding side, and this wisdom of how to have healthy relationships. Wow. That is powerful. Like, I got chills through my body looking at that. So let's dive into a few more cards here. Let's see. My group twos. What else do we have for my group twos? Okay, so we also have... Okay, I feel like both of these cards want to come out, but like the tarot knows what it wants to say, okay? And it will say what it wants to say. Look at what this card says. It's the Divine Mother. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up, okay? The mother archetype is coming up for you, my group twos, okay? Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. Okay? And this could be towards yourself. I also feel like another dynamic of this is you learning really how to mother yourself rather than seeking it externally or needing it externally. Once we learn how to really love ourselves, we can heal all the wounds that we used to have in our past. Okay? And that also helps us heal other things, is learning how to do it from within. Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. You are healing mother relationships this year. You are also perhaps stepping into the mother archetype this year, or father archetype, either or. Also learning how to nurture, how to heal and create positive relationships. Like, wow. Okay, and then we also have Inanna, the queen of heaven and earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. It's so beautiful. Okay. Coming on into our last oracle cards. Let's see any last messages of the surprises that are coming your way in 2025. Let's try to get one more card. We have two here. Let's try to get one more. Oh, okay. You know, when a lot come out, I just feel like Spirit has a lot to say. We're gonna go through all of it. So Spirit had a lot to say. Let's go with it. Okay, so the next card is stop apologizing for your feelings. I feel like that is so powerful. A lot of us actually feel the need to apologize for our feelings because we're not used to accepting nurturing from other people. We're not used to, allowing and feeling okay being emotional. Stop apologizing for your feelings. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are here. Let's have them be heard. Let's speak them. All of that. Okay? My evolution is beautiful. My evolution is beautiful. Oh, I love that. That is powerful. And then let's get into, we're going to save this one for last. I feel like he wants to come out last. What did you learn from this connection? So perhaps this is talking about a previous relationship, family member, coworker. What did you learn from this connection? Because once you can find out what you've learned from the situation, like that is such a powerful time to be able to heal it and understand why it was in your life. We also have the card of, are you projecting? This is something powerful to ask yourself, especially when we're feeling triggered by something. Are you projecting? Are you projecting your own hurt of the situation? Oh, we have another card about unconditional love. Look at that, unconditional love. Would you love them if they didn't love you anymore? That's what unconditional love really is. And that's a powerful way to heal. Okay, we also have bend, but do not break. It's time to be flexible. Then we also have, even when it's not easy, forgive them anyway. Wow, there's so many cards around forgiving relationships for you. I'm just mind blown. Even when it's not easy, forgive them anyway. That is powerful. Like, whoo. Okay, and then we have destruction is the way to transformation. We have to destroy the old patterns, the old way of doing things, the old knee-jerk reactions that we have, the old, out with the old, in with the new. Destruction is the way to transformation. This is your year for a revolution. This is your year of forgiveness, of letting go, of healing, because forgiveness is the first step to healing. And forgiveness does not mean that all of a sudden we become complacent with old types of actions. Forgiveness is when we let go of holding the poison within us. Okay? Even when it's not easy, forgive them anyway. People are just doing their best, okay? Unconditional love, all of that. This is, wow, like, this is your year of healing. It is going to be so powerful. Your relationships are going to shift and change in the most drastic way, and you are changing in the most drastic way, stepping up and out of your cocoon to become the butterfly. You're no longer going to be caged in, okay? This is your year of becoming the butterfly, of expanding yourself and attracting harmonious relationships. Also, sorry, my camera just cut out there. It runs out of time every 30 minutes, but yes, this is your year of attracting harmonious relationships into your life, healing old relationships that were not harmonious, okay? Also, I feel like separating yourself from people that are no bueno, but also allowing yourself to forgive so that you can heal and not have to reattract those back into your life, right? So there's tons of healing, letting go of what's no longer serving you, stepping outside of your cocoon, outside of your shell, and literally becoming the butterfly where you can fly and get to bigger goals and dreams. Like, you're no longer going to be held back. And even if that doesn't make sense to you at the moment, it's going to make sense. There's a revolution happening in your life where you are no longer going to be caged and held back. There's so much healing happening this year. No wonder I ended up putting rose quartz on your pile. But yes, this is what we have here. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number 3 is my Thulite group. If you chose this one, this is going to be your prediction, all about those surprises that are going to come your way in 2025. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so as always, beginning with our Astro dice. Okay, we have the moon in Pisces in the 12th house. Ooh, wow, okay. So all of these are associated with deep creativity and also psychic abilities and insights, your intuition being very powerful, but it also, there's some stuff here that also deals with the arts and media as well. So a couple different things that I'm seeing for you is getting really deep in creativity and also gaining ideas that can really help you expand. If you are a creative person, or if you do anything that is creative or within media, I'm seeing this being a really lucrative year for you, full of a lot of ideas, and also being able to really express yourself from the deepest place, doing some of your deepest, most meaningful work this year in the area of your creativity. So for example, if you work on social media, or if you make social media posts or videos or something like that, I really feel like you're going to be expressing more deepness this year that other people can really connect to. If you are an artist, I also see you going a lot deeper this year, like really getting creative in that area. If you don't do any work in any of those things, and that doesn't really make sense for you, this is going to be a year where your intuition becomes so developed. And I'm also seeing that this year you might really be called to spirituality, because the moon is connected to our intuition. It's also connected to your emotions. Pisces is very creative, but it's also so intuitive, and it's actually at home in the 12th house. It's connected to the 12th house, and the 12th house is all about your subconscious mind, also your intuition, also your creativity. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is the planet of the media and also psychic abilities, and also what is your fantasy. Talking about the concept of what is your fantasy, I also feel like this might be a year where you are dreaming up your best ideas. You might even be dreaming up things that like are just going to blow your mind and give you like the best downloads. Like if you've ever heard of that expression before, of getting a download, it's sort of when you get these amazing epiphanies of like, oh my God, that's like the best idea I've ever had. And I really feel like you're going to be building something, but what I see from here is like, usually this is when we're building something behind the scenes, or we're working on something that it also could be in the media. That's the thing. That's the interesting thing about all of these, is because they're very internal, but at the same time, they also deal with the media. So that's like the interesting juxtaposition here, where either you're doing something really in the media, or you're also at the same time working on something behind the scenes that maybe will eventually be in the media, or you eventually intend for it to kind of be out there, or to do something bigger with it in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, that is what we have starting us off here for the 2025 surprises that are coming your way. It's going to be a very intuitive year where I feel like you're going to get so many downloads, so much creativity, and there could also be opportunities for media exposure or being really creative in the media, a lot of ideas coming through. Yeah, so let's see what else we get for you in regards to those surprises that are coming your way. So we have the sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. So another surprise that's coming your way is healing. For those of you that struggle with anything health-wise, or if you've been just wanting to get your health better, you've been wanting to feel better, you've been wanting to feel more energized, etc., you're going to be finding all the ways of nourishing, replenishing, and healing. It's interesting that we have these ones too, because all these are really also connected to healing actually, and gaining the insight that you need for healing. This is going to be a year for you where there's a lot of nurture and finding more fulfillment. I am so seeing a spiritual journey for those of you that chose this pile. And I don't know if that's something that you've been thinking about. I don't know if that's something that you've had a calling for lately, is to explore more of your spiritual side. But I'm really seeing that for you this year, but exploring it in this really light way, like exploring the things that make you feel nourished and fulfilled and rejuvenated and all of that. Like it's healing, it's creative, it's tapping into your intuition deeper than ever, where you're really unlocking your intuition, where it's just so powerful, and all of that. We have Brothers of the Rose, so sacred masculine, honor, protection, support. So Brothers of the Rose, this is also masculine energy. So being able to take action, to move forward, make progress. When we talk about the sacred masculine as well, you might also be healing things around masculine energy. So if any of you have been, if you've seen the toxic masculine before, within the people in your life, or even within yourself, etc., this is also a year of healing that, where it's becoming the sacred masculine, the positive masculine, the type of masculine that creates safety and security. Ooh. And that's another big point actually with what we had coming out here. For those of you that want to feel more safe to be yourself, to be more safe to let your creative expression shine, if you've wanted to feel more safe just doing the things that you really want to do and taking action on the things that you really want to do, that's the sacred masculine. The sacred masculine makes us feel safe and also makes us feel secure. So there's a sense of security that you're going to be cultivating this year. For those of you that are wanting to attract a relationship, I'm seeing you attract a very positive, really stable, beautiful relationship. I also feel like this is something where it's talking about yourself, stepping into the sacred masculine, which all of us, by the way, have a combination of masculine and feminine energy. All of us. Everything in the world has a combination of masculine and feminine. So you're healing the more masculine side, creating more safety, more security, more of a foundation. I also see you healing emotional things, because all of these right here also talk about your emotional and mental health. And what I see that's going to be the biggest benefiting factor for you in regards to your emotional and mental health is creating a sense of security for yourself, especially around money, around creating a sense of security around your emotions, being able to express yourself, feeling safe to do so, and healing yourself, and also creating a sense of security within your own mind to where you're not battling your own mind. Instead, your mind is your friend, right? So many of us get stuck where our mind becomes our enemy, and one of the biggest blessings for you this year is mental healing. but deep mental healing. You're on a spiritual journey this year. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you really get into like, for some of you, I'm actually seeing you going on a spiritual retreat this year, or even like creating one for yourself in your own environment, in your own space. But for the most part, I'm seeing a lot of you going on a spiritual retreat where it's going to be very transformative for you. And it's going to heal so many aspects of yourself where you're going to realize more and unlock more of your inner power, which is interesting that I put Thulite on this group, because this is very connected to unlocking your inner power and also creating more harmony and healing and love and romance in your life and making space for that. If you really want to heal your inner world, even your outer world, both of them are very interconnected. If you've ever read Dr. Joe Dispenza or seen any of his work, he very much ties science with spirituality. And anyway, talks a lot about how our internal health and our internal world very much is correlated to our external health and our external world and what we experience and manifest, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm seeing you on a journey of learning so much about these things where it's almost like this is like I almost want to say mastery year for you, where you are mastering yourself and you are going to be learning things that are going to transform literally the rest of your life. It is going to transform the rest of your life. This is actually going to be a pivotal, very major pivotal year for you, where, wow, like health, healing, rest, self-care, nourishment, replenishment. This is going to be such a pivotal year for you. I can't even begin to describe the type of person that you are transforming into because of this year. Like the feelings and imagery that Spirit is giving me right now, I wish I could just transfer that feeling to you. I hope you actually feel it through whatever I'm speaking about, but it almost feels like there's not even enough words to describe it. But it's going to be such a pivotal year for you in regards to the things that you've been struggling with in your life, in regards to especially emotional, mental health, and believing in yourself and creating a friend within your own mind and creating this like inner peace, this inner tranquility, this inner love where all of a sudden it feels like your life is just fulfilling and you feel at peace every day. And in fact, you feel really beautiful and amazing every day. When it comes to creating that, this is going to be such a pivotal year for you in doing so. And I'm also seeing you maybe unlocking gifts where you help other people in that way. And that's maybe what's influencing what it is that you do or what it is that you work on or create. Maybe that's exactly what this deepness is that we were talking about earlier, that you're going to be able to create with, is because you're doing so much deep healing, being able to create this sense of security, this sense of safety, and this sense of a solid foundation that you can rely on. But this foundation is literally yourself. Like that's the thing, is like the foundation that you're creating where you feel safe and secure, it's literally you that's creating it. You are unlocking your inner power to creating that for yourself, where you're like, ooh, I'm stable and I'm capable of creating anything. And you're really like unlocking your freaking power this year. My group 3 is like, whoo, this is going to be a deep year for you. This is deep, but like in the best freaking way. And yeah, whew. I just hope you can feel the energy that I am putting out right now, because I'm trying to find words to describe what Spirit is showing me, but it's like, it's so much that it's kind of like indescribable, but hopefully you're picking up on some of what that kind of looks like. But yeah, I really see it within kind of the prayer position that he's holding, even with his hands. It's like this, you're at such peace and serenity, but you're also so in your power. And yeah, whew. Okay, let's see. What other cards do we have for you? I feel like this one wants to come out. So we have 8 of Wands being reversed over here. So things that used to not move forward, or even things where you felt like you couldn't move forward on them, this year is your year of shifting that around. So when we're talking about blessings coming into your life and surprises, the 8 of Wands being reversed is things that you used to felt stuck in are finally going to be moving forward. And I also feel like this is specifically saying removing blocks, removing limitations, unconscious limitations that you're going to now become aware of, removing unconscious limitations that literally stopped you from moving forward. Oh gosh, if you could see what that's unlocking in your future. Whew, I'm excited for you. I'm really excited for you, my group threes. This is otherworldly. We also have the card of Nine of Swords being reversed. Okay, so if sleep has been an issue for you, or even overthinking, worrying, feeling that insecurity, like, the Nine of Swords is when we have a hard time going to sleep. Our mind is against us constantly throughout the day and even at night. And it's like stress, it's anxiety. That's what this card is. When it is reversed, we're learning all the tools of like healing that and overcoming that. So this year for you, another amazing surprise and blessing is like, you're gonna gain all the tools this year of healing all of this and no longer having to deal with this. Like, this is no longer gonna be part of your story. You're removing all those blocks. Energy can move forward. You're also removing the things that kept you anxious and stuck, and it's because you're stepping into your power and you're stepping into this healing and the nurture, the self-nurture. Oh wow, I'm almost seeing like you are doing such a big shift this year that I almost want to use the word otherworldly. Like it's an otherworldly shift. Your world is changing. Your reality is changing. And if you just look at the tranquility within this card, like this is going to be you by the end of next year. Very tranquil. Very, very tranquil. I almost feel like there's so much more that's shifting for you that you can't even see yet. And it's because of this like work that you're doing. We also have the card of transformation coming up for you, the Death card. This is one of the best cards in all of tarot. It talks about transformation. So yes, the old you is dying. That's why it's called the Death card. It's because it's the old us. It's like we're shedding our old skin. It's the death of the old self. We're no longer the old self. It's like you're going through this rebirth, right? Because after death is like the rebirth. You're going through this rebirth where you're going to be so much more in alignment. If you could see, which you can't even see the whole picture yet. And all of this that I'm saying right now, you're going to see so much more as it gets revealed. Like, wow. Yeah, anyway. There's literally no words to describe what I'm seeing. Like it's actually hard for me to describe what I'm seeing because it's hard to put words to it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really hope that you're getting at least a kind of idea about this, but I almost feel like it's beyond what you're even maybe picking up right now from my words because yeah, there's so many more emotions and things I can't quite put into words. But yeah, Knight of Pentacles, you are going to be creating such a great sense of security. I'm almost hearing new job for a lot of you, a new job or a better job or a greater opportunity, or at least an opportunity for making more money that's going to be so much more in alignment with you. That's coming through as well. And making money is actually going to feel more in alignment with you. And it's sort of like really finding where you're meant to be. Making money is actually going to feel so much better to you this next year. And you're going to be making more. I'm really seeing you. This is the start of your journey to making a lot more because the Knights aren't even the full peak yet. They're kind of like on the quest, they're on the mission, and they're already like quite on the mission because they're not the page. The page comes first, the Page of Pentacles, then we have the Knight of Pentacles, then we have the Queen of Pentacles, then we have the King of Pentacles. The Knight is the second one in the journey. So what I'm saying by this is like the new kind of way that you're going to be making money this year, the new opportunities that are going to be coming in, you are actually going to feel so much more abundant already that it's going to kind of blow your mind. You're going to be like, wow, how did I get here? This is amazing. I love what I'm doing right now. But it's actually going to grow even more over the next, what Spirit is telling me, these next 10 years. This is going to grow even more to where yeah, it's like, I don't even think that you realize what a pivotal year this is for you. And because you're doing all of this like self-work, this self-healing, this self-transformation, because you're doing all of this and because you're going through this deep awakening, it's actually going to be the catalyst of you doing so much change in your life, creating so much more security, creating so much more of a solid foundation, so much more of this feeling of safety and this feeling of inner power, that it is the catalyst of unlocking so much more in your future. This Knight of Pentacles is giving me such a good energy of you getting into alignment with how you make money, making money in a way that actually feels so much more in alignment, so much better for you. Your career is going to somehow feel better and more in alignment. And it's going to be more prosperous and abundant as well. And more solid, more secure, more sure. There's that sense of foundation there that's really positive. We also have the Hermit being reversed. So another surprise this year is you coming out of your shell. And also, if you're working on anything in secret right now, there's going to be the reveal of that later this year. So if you are working on something behind the scenes, there's going to be the reveal of that later. And I also see that this is you coming out of your shell as well. Coming out of your shell. So if you felt in your shell with anything, I really see you stepping out and shining. If there's anything that you almost felt stuck by too, where it felt like nobody understood you, felt like it was hard to be seen, this is a year where you're going to get so much more comfortable in your own skin, where you're no longer afraid of being seen. Oh, that hit the money. The fear of being seen is going away for you this year. You are confronting that. You are healing that. The fear of being seen is going away. Because it almost felt like being in the shadows was comfortable for you. And it felt comfortable because of all that you were going through internally. So it felt comfortable to be in the shadows. It felt comfortable to be behind the scenes. You're going to be breaking out of that. You're going to be so much more comfortable being seen. You're going to be so much more comfortable just being yourself and speaking about things. Like if you also felt uncomfortable speaking your truth, that is also shifting majorly this year. Like you're going to be so comfortable being you, being out there. You have gone on your inner journey, and when the Hermit's reversed, the Hermit's going on the external journey now. Now it's time to be seen. Now it's time to be like, hey. And I feel like this is happening around the 9th month of next year, so around September. And again, this is a general reading, so timings can fluctuate for each person watching this. But for the most part, I do feel like this is happening around September-ish of 2025 for most of you. It could happen as early as like August, July, June. Could even happen as early as like April for some of you. This is a general reading. But the average, like September is going to be really the month where all of you watching this, you're going to be in that energy of like, I'm so comfortable being seen. I'm so comfortable being out there. I'm so comfortable being like, hey, this is me, this is who I am, this is like the sense of confidence that's coming through around that time of year is so beautiful, so profound, and it's like you really believe in yourself, but in such, that almost made me want to cry. But yes, okay, diving into our next few cards here. We're going to dive into the archetype cards, and I've been loving using these lately because they kind of show the archetype that we've been versus the archetype that we're stepping into and becoming. So I'm really curious what we get for you for the year of 2025. We actually have 2 coming out for you. So we have mentor, and judge. Okay, so we're actually going to start with judge, and we're going to go to mentor. I'm being called to do that first. So Judge, the light attributes is balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. The shadow attributes is offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. So what I'm getting here from the shadow attribute, something that you're stepping out of, destructive criticism, overly judging yourself, the fear of judgment of others, the fear of judgment of being seen. you were overly giving your power to destructive criticism. This could be internally, this could be over focusing on haters externally or situations where people didn't like you, overly focusing on that, overly focusing on your inner critic. The light attributes is balancing justice and compassion. Managing the fair distribution of power. So instead of just giving power to the judging thoughts, instead of just giving power to the judgmental people, how about we also distribute some power to the people who love us? How about we also distribute some power to the positive thoughts that say, hey, I'm worthy and I'm freaking badass, and like, woo, how about let's distribute some of the power there too, right? So 2025 is you distributing the power properly and creating more justice and compassion in your life, okay? Mentor, the light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Shadow attribute, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. So if you have felt, this is calling me to talk about imposter syndrome. So for some of you, if you've ever struggled with imposter syndrome, you're stepping out of imposter syndrome. So inability to allow the student to move on to the role of the master. Stepping more into adulthood too. If any of you have still felt like you want to rely on somebody else to give you permission to be who you want to be, or waiting for other people to tell you, oh yes, you can do this, or yeah, oh yes, I like who you are and like what you do, whatever. If we've always been giving the power to others, this is your power of stepping into you being the leader, you being the authority figure of your own life. Okay? Passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. If you've been a forever student, this is also time for you to realize that you have enough knowledge to step up into being the teacher as well. And I do feel like that is going to be something that actually comes later in the year for you, is really stepping up into being more of the teacher. And realizing like, I do have value. I feel like you're realizing this now, but you're really gonna step into it about midway through the year of like, yeah, I'm gonna step up into my power. And one thing that the master always knows is that the master is never actually a master. The master, as long as they're always a student, are also improving, and that's where true mastery comes from. Because they also learn consistently and constantly, because they realize that there's no end to learning, okay? Which I feel like you have that quality. So let's let's embrace that and realize that you actually already have that mastery within you. And let's see, what other cards do we get? I'm also going to restart my camera because it's close to cutting out. Okay, let's see, my group threes. What else do we have for the surprises of 2025? We have the pillar, so more strength, building you up, becoming more solid, more secure. So that's also another one that's kind of reiterating that sense of security message. We also have the void, things that you felt were missing in your life, things that were like, ugh. If you felt like there was a missing piece, if you felt empty in some way, if you felt like you lacked a certain quality, if you felt like you lacked what it is that you need, that is being filled this year, and you are building things up that are going to fill that void. So that's another surprise that's going to be coming in. Those things where you felt a lack in are going to be so much more fulfilled. All right, let's dive into our last oracle cards here to get any last messages for you, my group threes. There was so many messages here for you. I can't even believe it. I'm mind blown right now. So, do you know when to leave? Do you know when to leave? Do you know when to leave a thought? Do you know when to leave a situation? Do you have the confidence to say, hey, I'm like done here. I'm going to leave this. Do you know when to leave something behind? Not choosing is still choosing. Ooh, that is powerful. Not choosing is still choosing. So if there's something that you need to decide on, realize that even when you're not choosing, that's actually still a choice. You've still made a choice there. And so, yeah, it's time to make the choices. It's time to be very clear. Okay, and then if you fail, will it all fall apart? No, because you get up, you go again. Or if you fall, will it all fall apart? No. I am and always will be enough. You are innately worthy of everything that you desire. And that is a beautiful message to leave us off on. I am and always will be enough. You absolutely are. You don't need to prove yourself to anybody. You don't need to prove yourself to the universe. You don't need to do extra in order to manifest what you desire. You are innately worthy. You were born worthy. The fact that you're even born on this earth, you're already worthy of all the experiences that earth has to offer. You are already born here. You're born with the birthright of experiencing exactly what you want to on this planet. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. You've already done enough. You're already here. So right when you feel worthy, right when you accept that you are worthy, that's when things really start flowing. And this is your journey this year, is finding your worth and healing all those things internally and finding your power and all those beautiful things that we were talking about, and even career being so much more positive and lucrative this year. I love that for you. So that is what we have. My group number 3s. I'm sending you all so much love. Those were the beautiful surprises coming in for you, and woo, can't wait. It's beautiful, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, my group 4s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading that's going to reveal all those surprises that are coming for you in 2025. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so starting off with our Astro Dice, as always. Let's see. Woo, there's one that flew way away. But we have Saturn, and it is in the 9th house. And then way over here, woo, we have Pisces. So Saturn and Pisces in the 9th house. Wow. So this is going to be a year for you where there is a lot of learning. And one of the greatest surprises for you, the 9th house deals with expansion, travel, and learning, and philosophy and beliefs. It's also the house of the teacher, and which is why it has the correlation to like learning and expanding knowledge and all of that. So one surprise this year is I do think that there's going to be some travel for you, maybe some very significant travel that you're going to be very excited about, that you can look forward to. Also, if any of you are trying to get into a certain school, or if you've been wanting to learn, or even if you've been wanting to step up into being a teacher or putting a course out there or something like that, the 9th house is very correlated to all of those things. I'm also seeing more freedom, especially in terms of your schedule. So perhaps this is like being able to work more remotely for some of you. More expansion within work, more expansion within your soul, more expansion within travel. And it's also a house that's very correlated to freedom. And I feel like this is a year for you that is going to allow for more freedom. And it's interesting that we have Saturn in here, because Saturn is the planet that is a little bit more about like boundaries and things like that. But it's also about responsibilities, accomplishments, and getting things done and being productive. So there could be something here where you might have a very particular goal, or maybe you really want to work more remotely and have more freedom in work. And this would be having the structure and means to do so. The structure and means to have more freedom, to take more time off, to explore more. And also, again, for any of you wanting to get into a certain school, or maybe you have a lot going on school-wise this year, or within education and learning, this is a very positive year for that. This is a positive year of getting things done, getting towards those goals, all things like that. So if that is a thing that is on your plate right now, that is definitely coming through as well. And that Pisces energy really helps us dive deep into creativity, and really helps us dive deep into what is your fantasy and what do you really want to create here, and what is your vision. Pisces is all about the vision. And yeah, I'm definitely seeing you being able to accomplish a lot more of what you've been visualizing for yourself in all of those particular areas of your life, and being much more productive and disciplined. And if you've actually had a goal for yourself to accomplish a lot this year, If that is a specific goal that you have, my group fours, is to accomplish a lot this year, there you go. Saturn in the 9th house is very much like, let's accomplish, let's rise to the top, let's get things done. And you're gonna be coming across all the resources that really help you get things done. And let's see, what else do we have for my surprises for my group fours in 2025? There's a card that literally flew out here. Ooh, we have the Star Divine card. And this one says, inner divine deities, guidance, clarity, protection. So whatever it is that you are wanting to move towards this year, the goals that you have, you are going to be divinely directed and gaining clarity on exactly what it is that you need to do. If there's things that you actually currently feel unsure about, because maybe you're like, oh, maybe you have a lot of big expansion plans this year. You know, Saturn in the 9th house in Pisces, you might have big visions this year and you might be thinking like, how am I going to make that happen? How am I going to do that? You're going to be divinely led there. Spirit is guiding you there. And also I feel like your higher self is really coming through in this card. And it's really this like initiation of, you got this and you're going to figure it out, because the path is going to unfold more and more as you continue to go down this path. And I'm really seeing this is you waking up into more potential and allowing yourself to dream more, because I also see you pushing the boundaries of what you allow yourself to set goals of. Perhaps this year you're allowing yourself to dream a little bit more, to set bigger goals than you have in the previous years. Maybe this year you're kind of like, I want to see what's really possible. And I do see you expanding what is possible. This Pisces energy is very much like the dreamer. And Saturn usually isn't as big of a dreamer, but when Saturn is in Pisces, it kind of challenges Saturn to create bigger goals, you know? Like maybe we had a goal of like, ooh, let's see if I can create X amount of dollars this year. And then Saturn in Pisces is kind of like, especially being in the 9th house, Saturn in Pisces in the 9th house is like, but do we really want to limit ourselves to that? Or do we want to expand that further, right? Or, you know, even if it comes to love or other things like that, freedom, expanding just what's possible for you. Saturn in Pisces in the 9th house is kind of like, should we go for more though? Right? Not in a greedy way, but in a way of like, you know what? Maybe I'm capable of more than I thought. And yeah, let me let myself dream. Then your next two cards from this pile. Ooh, we have the card of Manifest Magic. So weave your magic, miracles, understand manifestation. This has kind of been a message for a lot of people, and I'm not surprised because my channel, you know, a lot of you guys who watch my videos, you're into manifestation and all of that. But it seems like there's a message for a lot of people getting really deep into manifestation this year, which I loved. Whew, I love that, okay? But you might be called to learn more about manifesting and how to really utilize your own inner power to create the life of your dreams. Also, this card is really making me think about travel too. So some of you, maybe you have a dream of like, I just want to work on the beach, or I want to relax more. I want to have time to rejuvenate more. I want to have time where I just feel like I can relax and enjoy myself rather than being stuck in responsibilities. Because Saturn is about responsibilities, but being in Pisces in the 9th house, it's sort of like asking the question of how can I make my responsibilities more fun? How can I make my responsibilities more exciting rather than feeling kind of dread around responsibilities? So I really feel like for you, this year, it's sort of like learning how to really utilize the power of manifestation to create a life that you really love, rather than being bogged down in a life that you're kind of like, meh. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to be meh. Then we also have integrated woman, self-acceptance, integrate lessons, grounded healing. So self-acceptance is such a beautiful, surprise that's going to be coming up for you. Self-acceptance, loving who you are, integrating lessons that are going to help you learning that's going to help you learn how to manifest beyond what you thought was possible. The ninth house is the house of expansion. This is expanding your dreams, expanding what is possible for you, learning how to manifest magic, learning more about the power of manifestation, how you can utilize it in your life, how to integrate yourself to where you're like, hey, I actually really love myself. I accept myself for who I am, and I'm going to integrate all these lessons that I'm learning so that I can live my best life. This is also a card of like healing, so healing old wounds, healing self-worth, healing all things like that, so that you can expand. And let's see what else we get for you, my group 4s. So we also have the Hermit being reversed. This one actually came up, I believe, for the last group. But this is really getting out of your shell. And it's also when we come to a place where we're like, okay, I've learned enough. Let me go and apply what I've been learning. Let me go and apply those deep epiphanies. Because the Hermit is when we're seeking knowledge, seeking wisdom, we're going within. But when it's reversed, we're going external, right? We're coming out of our shell. And it's also the time where instead of seeking the wisdom, now we're applying what we've learned. So maybe you're somebody who's already into the manifestation stuff, and maybe you've been learning a lot about it, and now it's time to really implement that. Or on the other side of things, maybe you're just getting inspired to learn about it now, and then throughout the year, you're going to be really applying it and then seeing like, oh, there's a lot that I can do with this. There's a lot that I can create. And I do feel like you're going to be creating a lot more than what you realize. We also have the 3 of Wands, so you're going to be on a journey for sure. This also deals with traveling, so I wouldn't be surprised if traveling ends up being a theme for you this year. Another aspect of travel, if travel is definitely like not something that you're into, not something that you're planning or see for yourself, another aspect, another way of reading into the travel energy would be this energy of a journey or expanding yourself and making a plan that is far beyond where you've been before. Okay, so you have a clear, big vision for yourself. I feel like this is your visionary year, my group 4s. Like this is your visionary year where you're really being the visionary of your life. Stepping more into that creator seat. And let's see, what other surprises do we have for you? I love doing these surprise readings, like the surprises and blessings that are coming in. I just feel like there's always just such good energy. The Fool being reversed, you're also going to feel more ready than ever in this next year. Another surprise is that even as you step into a lot of these things that you're planning for yourself, I think that you're going to be better at them than you think. Because the Fool, when it's upright, it's sort of when we're brand new at something, we're a little bit naive, we're going into it, we don't really know much about it, and we're just seeing what happens. But when the Fool is reversed here, I'm getting this message that all the things that you're planning for yourself and all the things that you're doing, there's going to be this surprise of like, oh, I'm better at this than I thought. I'm better at this than I thought. Even if you haven't done it before, there's going to be this odd feeling of like, you know what? No, this is good. Like this is a good path. So that's going to be another surprise that comes up for you. We also have the 2 of Swords being reversed and 5 of Swords being reversed. Okay, so when the 2 of Swords is reversed, we take off the blindfold and we unlock our heart. So I feel like you're opening up more of what's possible for you rather than restricting yourself. Because when she's upright, she's restricted. She's also not opening herself up to possibility. She's also not taking action on what she really wants. She's closed off, right? And I feel like for you this year, it's like you're really opening your heart. You're not closing yourself off. You are taking the action, so rather than holding yourself back. And you're overcoming a fear. What is it that you fear in your life? Because there's this message of you overcoming that in 2025. You're going to be facing a fear and then kind of almost realizing like, oh, I'm better at it than I thought. And then you're also going to be realizing, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine here. Whereas over here, there might have been something that you're hesitant about, something that you're worried about, but then all of a sudden you kind of take that leap of faith and you're like, oh, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. So there's that aspect. We also have 5 of Swords being reversed. Another blessing that's going to come in for you is distancing yourself and getting rid of drama in your life. Distancing yourself from people that have been creating a lot of drama or hardship or have been taking advantage of you. If you have people in your life that have been taking advantage of you, or if they just seem like they're constantly complaining or bringing down your energy or just not being that great, this is a year where you're also going to be distancing yourself from that and distancing yourself from drama. So what kind of drama has been in your life that you are wanting to get rid of? Because that's going to be going right out the window for you this year, is getting rid of that drama. And I feel like that's going to really help your mental health. I'm also seeing this as you no longer wanting to partake in things that sort of bring down your energy or have brought down other people. Like I'm seeing forgiveness, I'm seeing apologies, and I'm also seeing this like distancing yourself from people who don't have the best intentions and being able to really tap into your intuition when somebody does or doesn't have the best intentions, and knowing how to handle those situations a lot better and healing those situations. So that's going to be really great as well. Next, we're going to dive into our archetype cards. I've been loving using these lately. You've probably seen them in all the recent readings, but I've been loving using them because it shows the archetype that you are right now in versus the archetype that you're becoming, which I feel like is perfect when we're doing these like prediction readings because they really show how we're transforming. So let's see what your archetype is for your surprises in 2025. I really feel like that one wants to come out. So we have, ooh, that one just flew right at me. So the archetype that you have is the hero or heroine. Ooh, so the light attribute of this archetype is passion for a journey of personal empowerment. Ooh, and look at, we're climbing the mountain, getting to the top. The shadow attribute is escapism and a false sense of heroism. So the archetype that you're stepping out of this year is escapism. Where have you been running from your responsibilities or running from your problems and using distractions to escape what you really need to do and what you really need to face and the action that you really need to take? Sometimes we have multiple ways of using escapism. Like for example, escaping by endlessly scrolling on our phone or distracting ourselves with like Netflix or gossip or talking to other people about things because it helps us escape from our problems and our issues, right? Escapism can also look like utilizing bad habits such as like eating unhealthy, consuming unhealthy things in order to escape emotions that we don't want to face, right? Escapism can come in so many different forms. And it can also be, another message that I'm getting is when we wait to be rescued by somebody else. We wait for somebody else to be the hero to help us get to the top of the mountain. But instead, if we step up into our hero heroine self, we don't need to wait around for anyone else. Nor do we need to use escapism because we're like, I'm taking the action. I'm doing what I know I got to do. I'm being my own hero, my own heroine, right? I'm not going to wait for somebody to rescue me. I'm not going to wait for somebody else to help me make my dreams happen. I'm not going to wait for somebody else to come in and make me feel better. No. This is passion for a journey of personal empowerment. This is when you empower yourself. This is the archetype that you are being called to step into this year, is empowering the self. So that's powerful. Let's dive into some more cards here for you. Ooh, I feel like these want to come out. Okay, so we have the Magician, which is you stepping into your inner magic, realizing that you are the creator of your reality, which this is also connected to manifestation, by the way. So for those of you that are called to learn more about how to become the architect and creator of your reality, this is all for you. Also, I do literally, I'm just gonna shamelessly throw this out there. I literally have courses on manifestation. I'll have them linked down below for those of you that are interested in them. Of course, I talk about them on videos here for free as well, but in the courses, we do go a lot deeper because manifestation is such a big topic, and like there's so much to know within it that you could never fit it in like a YouTube video. But anyway, I'm just gonna throw that out there. All that will be linked down below in case you're interested in that. I just feel like I was called to say that for this group, but anyway, the Magician, this is you being the creator of your reality. And this year, I really feel like you are unlocking your magic, right? We had the Manifest Magic card. This is you stepping into that. This is you deeply, deeply stepping into that and learning so much more. And that could be connected to the learning that we had with the ninth house. The ninth house is very much education and learning and philosophy. And yeah, I really feel like you're going to be educating yourself so much this year. And because of that education, you're really utilizing it to be the master architect of your reality, because you always have been. But when we're given the tools to really enhance what we know, when we actually know how to utilize the tools of manifestation and how it actually works, that's when we really unlock our master manifester abilities, okay? We also have the card of Ascension. So this is going to be a great up-level year for you of ascending to higher planes, reaching higher goals, just like they're climbing the mountain here. You're ascending to a much higher place this year. Then we also have nature coming through. This is connecting with more of your natural self. Another thing that I feel for you is why am I hearing like you're going towards a more natural diet? You're going towards a more natural lifestyle, and you're called towards more natural things this year, which are actually going to benefit you health-wise. They're going to benefit you in terms of feeling your best. I feel like you're going to be connected to that this year. I'm also hearing a pet for some of you. If you've been thinking about getting a pet, that's coming up in this card too. We also have Speak Truth. Utilizing your voice and being so much more confident utilizing your voice to be able to speak your truth. If you felt like you've had any expression blocks with expressing yourself, speaking the truth, this is healing this year to where you're able to express yourself, but in a compassionate way where it feels in alignment. Expressing yourself and saying, and look how many wings we have. We have wings, wings, wings. This is you also, yeah, there's like an ascension energy, being able to surpass old things that were keeping you stuck or held back or held down. And we have release. So old things that were holding you back, holding you down, this is your year of being able to step away from those. Something that you've been like sitting in that you didn't quite like or you didn't feel at home in, you're going to be able to release that. This could indicate moving. So for some of you that you're like, oh, I don't like where I live, there's going to be the release of that in 2025. If you don't like where you currently are within career or within where you live or within career, like I just feel like this is your foundation right now and you're releasing it. There's a foundation that you didn't quite like and you're finally liberating yourself away from that in 2025. All right, and then diving into our last oracle cards for you. Ooh! All right, my beautiful group fours. Let's see, any last messages? Why do I feel like those really want to come out? Okay, we're gonna take those because those really, I just felt were wanting to come out there. And then we also have this one. So let's see. How are you being the best version of yourself? So how are you being the best version of yourself already? And how can you step into more of that? But how are you already the best version of yourself? It's time to give yourself gratitude and thanks for the fact that you're already in many aspects being the best version of yourself. And then if you want to step into that more, then of course we can do that. And then our other cards, it says, where you're going, not all can follow. Ooh. That is so important to remember because sometimes when we're on a particular journey, and especially when we're doing such a big journey, It's okay to know that other people might not resonate with that. And that's okay. It just means they're on a different path, right? And so we might notice that we're getting distant from some people, or we might notice that other people just disagree with what we're doing, and that's okay. Where you're going, not all can follow. And that's also important to remember, especially when we're learning a lot about manifestation, for example. Not everyone gets it. Not everyone understands that, because they're just on a different journey. So, they might hear about the concept of manifestation and think like, what are you doing? That's just like some woo-woo whatever. And you might be like, no, it's great. And it's not our mission to make everyone understand us. Not everyone needs to follow our path in order for us to feel okay going on that path, right? So if your parents don't understand you, that's okay. Where you're going, not all can follow, not all will follow, not all are meant to follow. And we might be looking at this being like, no, this is the greatest thing ever. It's going to change your life, but not everyone might want to be on that path, and that is okay. Okay. So where you're going, not all can follow. It doesn't mean you can't go on that path. If you're called to it, let's go, baby. Okay. So the next card, you can search the entire world to find someone to love, but there's no one more worthy of that love than yourself. Self-love is huge. Remember to love yourself as well, okay? Love is not just meant for the people outside of us, it is also meant for us too, right? So remember to give love to yourself as well. And then we also have the journey is the process. The journey is the process. Focus on the journey of getting there. Enjoy the journey, right? Because imagine that you're on a really long flight, that you have to go somewhere, and you're just so excited to get there. But what if you could also enjoy the journey too and make the journey so much fun? Then you don't have to have this period of disliking a moment in your life, because life is full of moments, right? It's full of chapters, right? And we can choose to be unhappy in the becoming chapters or in the journey chapters. And a lot of us do choose to be unhappy during those because we're like, I just want to get to the destination. But how much more amazing and fulfilling and fun would life be if we actually find ways to enjoy the journey too? Life just becomes beautiful. I always tell myself, how can I add passion into all the different segments of my day? And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I still fail at this. But for the most part, I've actually gotten really, really good at this because I've been doing this for a while now, where I'm like, you know what? If I have to go drive to this place, to this doctor's appointment and do this, and a lot of us can think that's just a mundane errand. But then I'm like, how can I make this really great? Maybe if I go make myself a really nice, my favorite cup of tea. Then I put on my favorite podcast and I take it as a time of learning and integrating, or listening to something great. And then I just enjoy the journey there. And then I think how can I make the doctor's office fun too? Maybe I can bring my favorite book with me and read it while I'm waiting. How can we make the journey really fun too? That's something beautiful to ask yourself. If you're going on a long flight and you're dreading the long flight, how can you actually make it great? Right? I take my laptop with me and I'm like, how can I create my best work right now? Maybe I'm going to start writing my next manifestation course and really get deep into it. Or maybe I'm going to get creative and do this, do that, whatever. There's always ways to make the journey and the process of becoming so beautiful and so fun. And sometimes we don't see that. And yeah, anyway, that's all part of manifestation too. So just wanted to throw that out there because that actually helps you get to your goal so much faster. Rather than looking at your pasta to boil, when we're staring at it, it takes forever to boil. But all of a sudden when we're having fun meanwhile, or doing something meanwhile, all of a sudden the pasta boils really freaking fast. So that's also how you make your manifestations come faster, is by making the journey fun, enjoying the journey, creating fulfillment, and all of a sudden things flow into your life so much faster. So just wanted to throw that out there as a last little message. So yeah, thank you again so much for joining me here, my beautiful group number 4s. I'm sending you all so much love. I hope you have a beautiful, amazing 2025. And until next time, bye.